Alright, another video. I'm inside this time. It is June 14th, Sunday, 2020. I don't want to tell the date every time, but I want to give an idea when this was recorded sometimes. That it's 2020 or whatever it is. You know, that it's spring or almost summer. It's beautiful. It's been beautiful. God gave me money. Again, I told about the time when God gave me $5,000. I couldn't keep it, but I was going to a mail institution, and so I didn't need it. But I said, I'm tired of this poverty, Father. I need money. And I prayed for money, and I've been praying for money again. About the turn of this year, I had the expenses of Christmas because I give Christmas presents to everybody. It's nice to get nice things, but there were more expenses then. There are more expenses now. I have an extra expense now. This costing me a good chunk of change. And I want freedom. I want financial freedom. And God is not giving me that, but He did give me money. So He's giving me some financial freedom. He's not giving me absolute financial freedom. With this coronavirus thing, we got money from the government. It was $1,200, $1,200. Everybody in the country that's an adult got $1,200, and I was one of them. I was praying for money like about in January. I believe it's very important. You pray for what you need. And for example, just because it's yoga equipment doesn't mean you don't need it. Just because it's yoga equipment doesn't mean you don't need it. Or just because, for example, I've been praying about air conditioning in my car. I don't have air conditioning in my car because I'm on disability. I can't afford air conditioning in my car at this point, or it will be difficult. It will be difficult. Or I really can't afford it. But it's just kind of like things like, if you're on disability, or if you're poor, and you just need a steak. You need a steak for dinner. Something more solid, some meat in it, something with meat. God will give you that. I'm not saying God will give you a Ferrari just when you snap your fingers, but God will give you what you need when you need it. And I prayed for money. I said, I've got the expenses. My internet went up. The internet in this apartment complex is a faster internet. It's supposed to be a faster internet. And it's more money than my old apartment complex. It's more money for internet. I have to pay water here, water and sewer. We just have to pay what the meter read in the old apartment, or the old complex. We'd have to pay what the meter read. Now we have to pay the full water bill, including water and sewer, which ends up being about $40 to $45, $38, $45, $42, $40. And just all these expenses, and I prayed that I would get some money. And then along came this coronavirus thing, and the government says, we'll give everybody some more money. And they gave us $1,200. It's what I prayed for. God gave me what I prayed for. And I'm praying for money again. And if the second coronavirus payment comes out, then I'll have more money. I would like to get my air conditioning fixed. There are things I like to buy. But as far as, God will not, according to James, God will not give you money for your pleasures. If you want money to spend it on whores, God won't give it to you. Or he won't give you a whore or a prostitute just because you want to spend your money on a prostitute. He won't give you money for that. If you want to, God won't give you things for your pleasures, for your perverted pleasures. It has to be for what you need, and a lot of people need to expand. I did. A lot of people need to expand on the definition of need. Because when I first started with God, and I was living in poverty, and I quit my job because I was in so much pain. I thought, well, God will give me enough to survive. And you need more than enough to survive. And then some of us need an attitude of what we really need. Need to think about what we really need. I guess most people, they need to think, okay, I don't need a brand new car right now. This car drives around, gets me where I need to go. If it breaks down, I need to get it fixed or get a new car. But God will give you what you need. And if this is a warm winter, then I will need air conditioning. If this is a warm summer, I'll need air conditioning. And there's some other things that need to be fixed on my car. One other thing, I think there might be two other things, but air conditioning needs to be fixed, and then something else needs to be fixed. My car is 18 years old. My car is 18 years old. It's a Honda Civic, and it runs well. I don't need a new car as long as this one works well. I might need air conditioning because I've gained a lot of weight on my psych drug. They put people in psychiatric institutions for political purposes. Everything is politics. You look at politics, it's all lies. Everything is politics. Shakespeare said all the world's a stage. We're all into politics. One way or another. And Jesus' politics was the politics of religion, which especially today is running into politics in the world. Same as evolution, global warming. These concepts are fake, and they're affecting our lives. That's the idea. The idea is not just to have a philosophy or some pseudoscience like evolution and global warming. The idea is to push it on people. Because evolution, the evidence they had for evolution was denied one time. They took a monkey or something and they shaped its bones to look more human. They said it's a missing link. Because, scientists used to be concerned about the missing link. They said, we have to have, a link that says, where humans came from. They could have just come from apes and all of a sudden one next day they were humans. So for evolution, they put up false evidence. And they did this several times. And as Adolf Hitler said, if you tell a lie long enough, often enough, the people will believe you. But they had to get rid of God. They had to get rid of God, and it impinges upon the creation story. We know what happened back then. There was an ape and whatever, and it impinges upon the Christian story. It denies the Christian story. Then people start having to wrap their Christianity around what is supposedly science. I used to believe in evolution. I didn't know what else to think. I know better now. There were no dinosaurs. It's called plaster of Paris, because you'll go to a museum and you'll see a dinosaur or bones of a dinosaur, bones of a quote unquote dinosaur, and they'll say, "Behold the dinosaur." And I'll say, "Well, is that really the bones of it, or is that a facsimile of it?" Oh, it's a facsimile of it. It's plaster of Paris, or whatever, some type of plaster. And when they discover the bones, they'll take a picture of them in the dirt, and they'll been made out of plaster, even in the dirt. They'll take the bones and put them in the dirt, and they'll take a picture of them and say, "See, we found another dinosaur." Because, for example, they used to say Brontosaurus was a real dinosaur, and now I don't remember what they say now, but they said that Brontosaurus was a real dinosaur. But for a time, they thought it wasn't a real dinosaur during the 70s, which is when I got a book that had a brontosaurus in it. It said during the 70s, something like that, they denied that brontosaurus really existed. Now they're saying he really exists again, and they know what he ate. These scientists, they're smart, they're capable, but they're also capable of lying and deceiving. And you look at somebody like Jimmy Swaggart, if people remember him, or these other preachers, they say, well, they're liars, and they are, and they're deceivers. They get somebody up there that's fully capable of walking, they slap him on the head and he gets out of his wheelchair. That's not a miracle, that's fake. Or Pat Robertson was a big one, or now it's Gordon Robertson, I think, on CBN, Christian Broadcasting Network. They do the devil sign. They do the pinky and the index finger, and they do the devil sign. It's fake. The thing is, when you talk about scientists, it was the same way when you talk about the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church is right. They used to say the Catholic Church is right. Anybody disagrees with the Catholic Church should be killed, or whatever, tortured. And they forbid reading the Bible to figure out that the Catholic Church was lying. It was saying they would collect money to get people out of purgatory. Purgatory is not in the Bible. Purgatory is not in the Bible. Earth is purgatory. Earth is purgatory. Somewhere in between heaven and hell. There are liars. You have to recognize that. For Americans and for people that can search the internet, the stimulus payment for the coronavirus is not a lie. The question is, am I lying? Am I lying? And I'm not. All right. So I got money. Makes everybody happy when they get money. God bless.